Hello, bro, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Arnav, and I've been a dating coach for the past decade, helping men acquire dates. In today's video, we're going to talk about top 7 mistakes that men make when it comes to first dates. Even before we talk about those mistakes, let's talk about how can you actually set a date.
Now, setting a date in today's world is pretty straightforward. You have to demonstrate your value and your attractiveness by showing your personality and looks, attract the girl, and be completely non-apologetic about your attraction and ask her out to go on a date with you. Now, when it comes to setting the date, there's only 5% of the people in the world who are actually going out, approaching women face to face, whether it's in a coffee shop, mall, or a bar, and there's the rest 95% which are using online dating applications like Hinge, Tinder, and Bumble. Now, the problem I see with most men who are using online dating profiles to set dates is their profile tell no story about their lifestyle. The profile pictures are not really good, the framing is not proper, the quality of the picture is not good, the quality of the editing is not good. And if you actually want to know how to create that top 1% online dating profile which gets you the kind of matches that you want, which basically means gets you high quality matches, then all you need to do is click in the pinned comment below and sign up for the masterclass where I'm going to explain how to create that profile which gets you the kind of matches. And not only that, I'm also going to share my proprietary flirt framework, which is an effective texting strategy which you can use so that you don't have to really think about the text, you don't have to really think about what to text each woman. It's basically a process that simplifies all your texting. Now, before I go to the top 7 mistakes that men make which spoils your dating experience and which makes the girl literally hate you, I want to discuss some common questions that people have when it comes to going out on your first date. Now, the first question is, where should I go for my first date? Now, location is really important. I would recommend setting a first date in a bar or in a location where you're just having a casual conversation, where you can actually have a conversation, not a club or not a dinner place, because a dinner is too intimate for the first date. Just going to a bar, having a conversation, having 1 or 2 drinks with the girl and actually getting to know her. And if you're a teetotaler or a guy who does not like going to bars, a coffee shop is also a good option where you can go and actually get to know her a little bit. Now, the second question is, who pays for the first date? Now, if you're a man who has asked her out for the first date, I would strongly recommend that you pay for the first date. Now, if you're a guy who does not have that kind of money, it's strongly recommended that you work on your money game first before you go out on dates. Now, if you have gone out on a date, the bill comes, and if you have asked her out, it's your duty as a man, it's chivalrous as well, to pay for the first date. Now, for any reason, if you think that the girl is there for the food and not because of your company, now I had this date once where the girl is constantly clicking Instagram pictures, and that's all right, but she's not paying any attention to me. At that point in time, I would split the check. If I think that the girl is a gold digger, I would not get date. But in general, I would cover the first date expense, and if she's offering to pay, I would just tell her, hey, why don't you pay for the next one? This also solidifies the next date and shows my intent that I actually want to see her again. Now, the most common question I get asked is it good to have sex on the first date itself? Now, it completely depends on the vibe, it completely depends on your connection with her, it completely depends on the woman's comfort level as well. Now, if you're a guy who's been talking to a girl for a month before you go out on the date, which is, again, ineffective texting strategies, would strongly recommend click the pinned comment, sign up for the masterclass. But if you're a guy who's talking to a girl for a month or 2 months before actually going out on the first date, then I think it's alright to have sex because you already have built that comfort, that trust. Even if you're a guy who's just started talking to a girl, but the connection is amazing. You feel this amazing connection in just 3 days. It's just been 3 days, you got her number through an online dating application, you're talking to her, the conversation is going good. It really doesn't matter if you go out with her and you have sex with her. It completely depends if she's comfortable with it or not. So let's talk about the 7 common mistakes that men make when it comes to the first date itself. Now, the first mistake is not communicating the date properly. Men, while talking to women, they don't want to get rejected, so they're playing it extremely safe. Now, if you're playing it extremely safe, you're texting the girl, hey, let's meet up, and you've not communicated it properly that it's a date where you're actually romantically interested in her, where you have not shown her any intent, where you've not shown her that you're attracted to her, what happens is you'll get friend zoned. Maybe the girl will come out to meet you, but she does not have the same intent as you. So it's very important to be non-apologetic about your attraction. Tell the girl that you're attracted to her, of course, not so logically, but you can tell her that find her attractive, you find her cute, you find her interesting, and showing that man to woman vibe that you're not there to become her friend, but you're actually there to take her out on a date because you actually have a romantic interest in her. The second mistake most men make is they treat the girl like she's a prize, that she's a prize that they have to win over, and also they place her on a pedestal because of that. Now, whenever you ask a girl out on a date, you try to convince her to go out with you, that's always a bad plan. You have to put a frame that you're just two cool people meeting. You're not trying to impress her, you're not trying to chase her, you're not trying to win her over. You need to understand most women want a guy who does not surrender so easily. Most women, they actually want a guy who is sort of a challenge to them, but that does not mean that they're going to ask you out for the date. You still have to be the man, take the responsibility of their shoulders and ask them out in the right way. So rather than trying to convince her to come out with you, you need to attract her and you need to show her that you're just two cool people meeting and ask her out for the date. The third mistake that you might make when you're trying to set a date is that you're too slow in texting her. You got a number through online dating, but you're too slow in maintaining that conversation flow. You're not able to maintain that conversation flow, which basically means you texted her on Monday, you got a reply on Tuesday, then you respond on Wednesday, then she responds on Thursday, and so on and so forth. That means that you're not able to maintain a conversation flow. You need to maintain a conversation flow to spark that interest from a girl's side, which basically means that you're texting her and she's texting you the same day, maybe at the same time. That's even better. So do not be slow in texting, because wherever you are slow in texting, there are 10 other guys who are trying to get into her DMs, who are trying to match with her on online dating and trying to set a date then and there. The woman, she loves a genuine desire. So when she sees that man who's genuinely putting in efforts, when she sees that man who's genuinely attracted to her and trying to get her out on a date, she's much more attracted. Mistake number 4 that you want to avoid at all situations is selecting the wrong location. When I'm selecting the locations for my dates, I'm always selecting a location which is closer to my place so that I know if the date is going good, I can bring her back to mine. But most of the guys don't even think about this. They select the wrong location. Maybe you select a location like a movie. Now what happens when you are watching a movie with a girl, you cannot actually interact with her. So that's not a good first date. A first date is good when you can actually sit and talk to the person. For some of you guys, it might be a coffee shop. For some of you guys, it might be a bar. I would suggest staying away from restaurant dinners because of course the bill is going to be high. Apart from that, it's too intimate for the first date. And also I would recommend staying away from clubs, because clubs is a place where there's too much randomness. You cannot even connect with her on an emotional level. You cannot even have a conversation with her properly. And all that happens towards the end of the night is the girl gets drunk, you get drunk, and then there's no real actual connection. So there are many right locations. If you want to do something adventurous, you can select a mystery room with a girl. It's highly interactive, it's highly engaging, and definitely you and the girl are going to share an experience together. Or maybe you can take her out to rock climbing, maybe you can take her out to a coffee shop, maybe you can take her out to a bar. Now generally I like the coffee shop and the bar idea the most. Or maybe if there's a Sunday pool party, I would take my dates out to a Sunday pool party. Now the fifth mistake which most men make on their first date, and you want to avoid at any cost, is dressing up appropriately. Dressing up appropriately as per the location you're going to. That's why I was suggesting you the location should be a bar or a coffee shop where you can wear something casual. You can wear something casual, but don't go super casual like shorts and like a t-shirt. Rather you can wear like a shirt, or maybe you can wear a t-shirt, a polo neck, and some jeans, or maybe a chinos. Now if you go to a bar wearing a suit or a tuxedo, that's also not going to work out. So select casual spots, use some casual wear, but don't make it too casual and don't make it too formal as well. Now the sixth mistake which most men make, which you should avoid at all costs, is when you're out on that date with her, rather than thinking about everything else in the world, your work, are you able to impress her, are you saying the right things? Rather than all of that, you need to be present to the moment and you need to enjoy her feminine presence. Now most men, when they go out on their first date, they're too much in their heads. There's an internal dialogue that is going on in their heads, and because of that dialogue, they're not able to enjoy that particular moment. And because they're not enjoying their time with her, they're actually not having fun. And there's a law of state transference which basically states, if I'm feeling positive while I'm talking to you, you're going to feel emotions at a similar level, similar wavelength. But if I'm feeling negative while talking to you, if I'm depressed while talking to you, that state is sort of going to brush off on you and you're going to feel negative emotions as well. So if you're on that date, if you're thinking about what can go wrong, how can you impress her, and if you put her on a pedestal, you're thinking about all those things, then definitely you're not there present to that particular moment and you're not having fun. And if you're not having fun, that means that she's not having fun. And if you both are not having fun, that date is not going to go to the second date. Now for the seventh mistake that most men make is ending the date too early. Yes, you heard it right. You might go out on a date with a girl, maybe you meet her at 4-5 p.m. and you go to a coffee shop date and you have like some coffee with her. You might want to end that date after half an hour, but that's ending it too early. If the girl is having a good time, you can actually carry forward that date to a next location. Now, it's very important that you do that if you want to actually get the girl home, or if you want to actually build something deeper with her, because at the end of the day, if you shift a location with the girl, that builds ultimate trust. Why does it build trust? Because you and her are the constant while the environment is shifting, and that builds ultimate level of trust. Now, once you have built that trust with the girl, of course, she's going to be more comfortable coming over to your place after that. If I'm talking about my dating experience, I'm generally shifting 2 to 3 places before I get the girl over to my place. Now initially maybe we met at a coffee shop, maybe then we proceeded to go to a bar, maybe then we just proceeded to go for a walk, and then we came over to my place. So when you're shifting multiple locations, the trust really shoots up, and also the girl is becoming more and more compliant to you, which basically means she's saying yes to you on your demands, and once you ask her to come home, it's going to be way easier. But that being said, location shifting also depends on the girl's mood, how she's feeling, is she having a good time with you or not. So make sure that you keep an eye out on how she feeling through the entirety of the date. So if you're someone who wants to nail that first date, if you're someone who's a little bit nervous before going out on his first date, schedule a call with my team. Let's see if we are a right fit to work together, and let me help you with your dating life this year.